Welcome to what is good in your neighborhood. I am Andrew Shaw, and a special thank you to the Purple Mountain Group at Morgan Stanley for sponsoring this podcast. And we are on location at one of my favorite places in all of Southern Colorado, the Fine Arts Center, and joined by Nicole and Chris. Thank you both.
Thank you for being here with us. We're excited.
Yeah. Good. So much to talk about. Yeah, so much to talk about. And as we finish out 2024, I was thinking on the drive here, just before we dive into things, this is such a great location where somebody could spend a couple hours, a couple days, a couple weeks, and every time people leave, they're like, I wish I would have gone there more often, right?
Yeah. It's so true. It's such a unique entity where we really celebrate a multidisciplinary approach to the arts, right? So if you're a theater lover or a museum lover or just want to take classes, there's something for everybody. But also, alternatively, we have programs that really celebrate all of those different programming initiatives. So you could literally spend all day, right?
Yes.
Here at the Fine Arts Center, which is pretty fantastic.
That is what's so cool about it. And it's been around for more than a century, and continues to develop and grow. And so we're just very thankful to be here. A lot happening coming up soon, right? As we finish out the year, 2024, a lot of events. What's coming up?
Yeah. So much is coming up here on our calendar here at the Fine Arts Center. Most notably, we're working on our Dia de Muertos programming event slated for November 1st and November 2nd. We've been running that program for about 5 years now and really going strong throughout the years, growing in attendance, right?
Yeah, the attendance has grown year over year. I forget for sure, last year I think each of the 2 nights, and it's 4 to 8 p.m., each of the 2 nights, I believe we had 700 community members here. So, and that was up from the previous year. So like this year, everybody's bracing and figuring out how can we get more capacity because there's so much interest year over year.
So we're anticipating about 2,000 visitors this year, which is amazing over the course of those 2 days. And primarily the programming is slated for 4 to 8 o'clock in the evening, free to the entire community, Friday and Saturday. And we're offering some new programming in tandem with the traditional Dia de Muertos.
Okay.
So we're excited to unveil a mercado with different food vendors and different artisans selling their goods. We'll have community partners tabled to do different shout outs to the wonderful work that they're doing in the community. We'll have children's costume presentations, so little ones, bring your costumes and celebrate with us.
I bet that's a hit.
Yeah, it's one of the favorite gem aspects of the program, and lots of different performances and musicians. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, super exciting.
And we will continue to provide ways you can look online. Your website is awesome. And it's fac.coloradocollege.edu, and then you can find all the information, but we'll put that out for you as we continue through this. But some cool performances, Chris, coming up too.
Yes.
And there's one that really stuck out to me when I saw it, the Prairie Dog.
City Dog and the Prairie Dog.
City Dog and the Prairie Dog.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Well, it's fantastic for a whole bunch of reasons, but it's a great, going back to your first comment about the Fine Arts Center, on the 2nd of November, which is the second day of Dia, you can actually, as a family, you can come and enjoy, there's 2 matinees that day in advance of the 4 p.m. celebration. So you can come to the Fine Arts Center and quite literally spend the afternoon and the evening as a family, see live theater, and then experience Dia. So just because that's one of the great things about the Fine Arts Center. So the City Dog and the Prairie Dog is beautiful for a bunch of reasons. It's our first ever bilingual show, so it's in Spanish and English, and it's for children. And you don't need to speak both languages to appreciate the show. It's so beautifully written that I speak very little Spanish, but I can follow when they turn to Spanish, when the language turns into Spanish. It was commissioned by 2 playwrights from Creed Rep, which is a theater here in Creed, Colorado, so it's supporting local artists, as it were. Yeah, fantastic. And as far as I'm concerned, the real beauty is that we wanted an opportunity for members of our Spanish-speaking community and English-speaking community to be able to come together and enjoy live theater as one community. And there's so much shared common ground in the story. It's a universal story. It's set in Mexico, both in Mexico City and in a nature preserve in Mexico. and it's how family and friends find each other and work together to solve enormous problems. And that's, again, universal theme, but it's unique in how it's presented. It runs for 4 weeks. So it opens November 2nd. We do 2 shows on every Saturday and 2 shows on every Sunday, and it runs for 4 weeks. And in addition to that, we offer student matinees, which are still available. There's a few seats left. So student matinees happen during the week for area schools.
And tickets you can get online?
Tickets you can get online.
Or here.
Start at $17. They're discounted for groups or for student matinees. And I suppose this is probably a good time to plug. We have a Send a Student fund that we use to raise money to help offset the cost of bringing students here, and it's specifically for area Title I schools.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
And so ticketing, we discovered ticketing and transporting is roughly $25 to get a student here, and that's just out of the reach for a lot of our communities, and this helps get them here. So I say that only so that if teachers see this and go, oh, this would be great, but I don't know that we can afford it, we have a method to help. So yeah, so that's just one production that we have
exactly.
coming up.
Yeah, I love the title. I love the concept of it. I love that it brings both languages together, but understandable for both.
Correct.
I just, that one fired me up. That one really fired me up. And then another big one that I know everybody will love to see will be The Little Mermaid.
Yes. Yes.
The holiday show, right?
The holiday show. And this year it runs for 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
It's become so popular year over year. We're known for a family-friendly place to go. And it actually opens, first preview is November 20th. So it's open before the Thanksgiving holidays. And as I like to say that way, you know, when Aunt Jenny and Uncle Bob come in and the families spent a couple days together and like, we got to get out of the house. Come to the Vine Arts Center and see The Little Mermaid. I can tell you, I can tease a little bit about it. So it is the movie, as we know.
So Disney's Little Mermaid.
It's Disney's Little Mermaid, that's correct. And what's fascinating about it is it's really spectacle, and you have to imagine under the sea, and above the sea, and how do you put that on stage? And it involves a lot of special effects. There's a lot of puppetry. There are performers that fly through the air and simulate swimming, and a lot of lighting effects, a lot of lighting special effects. It'll be glitz and glamour and super fun. And I love the holiday shows because people dress up, and in this case, a lot of kids will dress up, and we'll see Ariel's and Prince Eric's in the audience, and it's the sweetest thing, and it's really meant to be, you know, a wholesome place where the whole family can go and have a great time together. And tickets for Little Mermaid start at only $26. So there are opportunities where it's reasonably affordable and access, not just for the theater, but for the Fine Arts Center as a whole. Creating access for our entire community is a real big initiative for you and the Fine Arts Center.
That is so cool. So what? Just thinking of the production of that. I mean, your teams must be incredible, and this is probably one of the busiest times of the year for them. So everybody's coming together. How has that been?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that. Tomorrow we have some of the artists flying into town, and first rehearsal is Friday evening. So we'll get underway at that point. In terms of the production process, the director and the designers have been working on the show since July, beginning of July, in terms of how we're going to stage it. And you know, I always like to tease this fact too, because not a lot of people know, unlike say the Pikes Peak Center, which brings lovely shows in, they're touring shows, everything that you see at the Fine Arts Center on stage here is uniquely created for us and for our community. So you'll never see it again. It's very ethereal. It's here and then it's gone, and it's a one-of-a-kind telling, which I think is great because it's supporting local artists, it's keeping local theater artists thriving and in the Front Range. And for the holiday show, it's for the performance, it's 11 and a half week contract. So for a performer or for even theater craftsmen and artisan technicians, that's an enormous amount of work to get in one lump. So for a lot of them, it's great. Through the holidays, they can sit and stay put and not have to travel a lot. It can be hard too if you live in another city.
Sure.
You might miss the holidays with your family. That is a little bit of the life of a theater kid, but it's nice in that regard. So they'll become a tight community. We all will over the course of the run of the show.
And that's part of it, and I think a lot of the people who are involved are used to that, and that's the uniqueness of it as well, and that's also that community part of it. It's its own little mini community serving others, and then every single day is like, put the eye black on, it's game day, let's go.
Yeah.
Correct, yep, that is right. And even Thanksgiving and Christmas, as examples, they will get together, and usually there's a handful of local artists or staff members who will host Thanksgiving or host a Christmas meal. So artists from around the Front Range, because many of them are local or local to Colorado, but there are a handful that will come from further away, and they all bond, and everybody gets together and has a meal. And we always laugh, theater's a small world. I'm getting ready to go to New York this weekend to see a bunch of shows, and I didn't want to say it on social media because I didn't want all of my friends, most of whom I've met here, to be like, we should get together. I'm like, I'm just going to see shows, which sounds like a first world problem. It's not. But it's funny. The community across the country is really quite small.
It is, yeah.
For a theater.
But keep it on the down low so you can stay on your schedule.
That's right. I got to stay in the schedule. True story.
Yeah, so if you're watching this.
Nobody. No. I love you, my friends.
On the other side, outside of theater, there's so many opportunities here for learning, for education pieces, for the museum.
Yeah.
Can we talk about some of that?
Would love to. I was, as Chris was talking about the theater, I was also thinking about the Bemis School of Art, right, which has a long history along with the Fine Arts Center here in our region. Goodness, the School of Art alone offers about 250 classes on an annual basis. Classes and workshops, right? From beginning intro level, ceramics and painting classes and collage making classes.
Digital photography.
Everything, yeah. It's really dynamic and really
so
inspiring, yeah. So no shortage of creativity on the class front or the workshop front. We have a lot of local talent that has been really loyal to the Bemis School of Art, and new instructors coming on board. So we're always, refreshing the offerings. So right now, we are in the midst of fall registration. The fall session is currently running, and that ends on December 15th. And so I share that date because there's still time to register right now for classes, intro, beginning, advanced, and all different eclectic levels and medium. So I would encourage everyone to take a look and explore the different classes.
These are the type of classes too where people might have hesitation jumping in, but after the first 5 minutes, they're so thankful they're part of it.
Yeah.
Having been an observant and a class participant myself, I think what is so special about what we offer here at Bemis is that the classrooms are small and intimate. We don't overload any of the classes, and there's really a range of ability. And we provide a really motivational and supportive environment. So for those who feel really established and well-trained in drawing, will find the right fit in any one of the classes, but also those who might feel a little less confident and just want to take the step in and just explore and dabble. There is a supportive environment for everyone, and in between that spectrum as well in the classes.
And age range too.
Yes,
5 to 85, you can come and take a class, regardless
awesome.
of your level. And I know of parents and children who have taken classes together. Which is really
What a cool,
right.
Yeah.
Great bonding.
And I was going to plug also one of my favorite programs that Bemis offers is the military artistic healing. And they use art as therapy to our military personnel, veterans and active duty in our community. It's been around for a handful of years. The motivation behind it is probably kind of obvious. It's meant as an opportunity for therapy and a way to share and express experiences that they've had. And that's close, I know, to Tara Thomas's Hart. She's the director of Bemis School of Art, and it's a lovely program that not a lot of our military community knows about. But
that is a great opportunity, and man, I bet there's some powerful pieces that come out of that, with so many healing moments, but also maybe so many teaching moments to others.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that is
So
true.
then you have the museum. Oh, we can go. We're going to talk all the way through Christmas. All right. So let's go museum.
Yeah.
Let's go museum.
I mean, the museum is the third incredible program initiative here at the Fine Arts Center. We have approximately 18,000 objects in our permanent collection. I know, just like marinate on that for a moment.
Yeah.
Over 18,000 objects, right? And the bulk of that obviously is never on view, right, when you visit, which is, the case with many other museums across the nation. But what does that mean in terms of, maintaining and overseeing the well-being of those objects? We have staff and space that is not seen to the general public to really manage that collection, right? And take care of that collection in perpetuity for a really long time. So a portion of our collection is always on view. Right now we have 15 galleries in the museum, and we do have the permanent collection on view. We will be reinstalling the permanent collection in September of 2025.
Okay.
So I share that as another plug, right?
Incentive,
To get excited about the incredible work that our curatorial team is working on in really identifying really thoughtful checklists and thinking about works that haven't been on view and what the stories and narratives are about our region and different artists that might have not been represented in years before, either physically via their objects that they made or in general narrative form. So
and there's so much of that in our region, and probably so many family members too, and so many resources available too. I was going to ask you about the team there, and I can't even pronounce curator team or however you said it properly, but what a fascinating job, and how large is that team?
It is amazing. So we have Michael Cristiano, who's the director of the Museum and Visual Arts, Katia Rivera, who is our contemporary art curator, and then we also have Alana, who has recently joined us as an associate curator, really helping the contemporary art collection and exhibition initiatives, but also helping with pursuing different contemporary permanent collection exhibitions. And then beyond that, we of course have interns, and part-time staff to help that core curatorial team. And then we have sort of a special collection/registration department that oversees the physical well-being of those 18,000 objects.
That's a big task, I'm sure.
That's probably a good time to plug Agents of Care.
Oh, right.
Which just launched less than a year ago, I think. And what they've done is they took a gallery and made it into a little bit of a lab, and they take works out, and the general public can be there to watch what exactly does that mean to care for a piece. How do you catalog it? How do you unbox it? How do you put it on a truck to go to another museum? Really fabulous behind the scenes opportunity if you're curious about they're really trying to bring that collection from the bowels out and make it more interactive.
Yeah, and that's also making me think of another gallery that's focused on works in progress. That's sort of the theme of this exhibition, where the curatorial team identifies a couple of objects from our permanent collection and installs them next to each other. And there's a table in the gallery with pencils and paper where we are seeking feedback from the visitors about their experience in seeing these works together, and what questions they have, what story are they interested in us as the experts telling them when they're viewing these objects. And so I share that because it's a similar initiative, as Chris mentioned, in that we're utilizing these spaces. The museum team, curatorial, is really utilizing these spaces in a really meaningful and non-traditional way to bring in our community as a thoughtful partner to help explore and understand how we're caring for objects and how we can be better stewards of sharing stories and being relevant to what the community is asking.
And I'm sure schools love it. And I mean, it's such a great educational piece too.
Yeah.
And you're inspiring future maybe employees here. You need a whole museum just for your name badges for everybody who works here. That's fascinating. That is a really cool. The other thing I liked that I wanted to ask you about, the e-museum, because that's online, because it's fascinating. When you think of, well, we're getting into that time of year, we never know what day might be a snow day, what day might, so there's always something 24/7 you can go learn about just on your website.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that.
You bet.
We're still very actively working on that, and it's always a work in progress. But I think the COVID era certainly, right, like every other institution, really had to lean in on that and amplify the internal physical present work that we're doing in a digital way, right? And that engagement has continued to progress, and we know that our community members still want to continue engaging in that way. So yeah, it remains a priority for us. It's exciting.
And not just our local community, but people
Right.
from all over the world
Right.
can see, if they know that we have something in the collection, they can look for it online. That reach is pretty exciting for a museum. And I'm not a museum, probably I'm a big fan, but that's not my specific lane, but that has to be thrilling for a museum to know that the work that you care for can be reached across the world.
It helps other institutions, also colleagues of ours at other institutions, become a little bit more aware of the objects that we have in thinking about potential collaborations or partnerships and sharing collections and traveling exhibitions right throughout the region and the nation. So the sense of transparency is really important and being really fully embraced.
And all for the community. I mean, all for the greater good of the community. That's what is so neat about it.
It's the community's work, right? I mean, these objects really belong to the community, right? And so I think one of the things that really excites me as the executive director is working with our leadership team in brainstorming how can we activate our program areas in these objects and our stories in relevant ways, right? In ways that our community is asking at this moment in time.
You're listening.
Yeah.
And you're being proactive rather than reactive, which is so important. So as we wrap up, I mean, we could keep going. I love this. I love this. The shows are coming up. What excites you the most?
Of the show, ooh, that's tough. Can I plug one after the first of the year? That's really exciting.
Yes.
Because it's a first for us. It's a world premiere. And it is a production, because this is relevant to what we were just talking about, and our goal for celebrating a sense of place in our community. It is a world premiere that is set in the San Luis Valley, outside of Alamosa.
Yeah.
And the playwright is a graduate of Rampart High School. She took classes at Bemis. She took theater classes. She's been in performances here. Her name is Jessica Kokoska. And we just wrapped up a 2-week workshop where we had readings open to our members and got a lot of feedback. She was working actively on the draft. The play's been around 10 or 12 years. It's been almost produced a couple of times. And we will stage it in February and March in our larger theater here. And it's a terrific story about family and the way generations pass down traditions and secrets. And it's beautiful and moving, and again about our community. And that was important as we at leadership, as we brainstormed about programming of how do we celebrate and tell stories of, by, and for where we are. So that has me really excited. Not to say I'm not looking forward to
I didn't mean it like that.
But In Her Bones is the title of that piece, and it's
that's a great title.
Right, it's going to be a special opportunity.
And it's the season, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
And as executive director, just when you walk in, you just, people love being here. Just a compliment to you. You walk in, you feel welcome. What what can people, if they wanted to come here for the first time, what can they expect?
When they come here for the first time, they will expect to be greeted with a warm welcome and assistance with whatever they are looking for to engage, whether it be a performance, a drama, a play, a comedy. We've got something for everyone. There's a wide offering of BMIS classes on any given day, which is really exciting, in tandem with performances. And then also we have a really lovely selection of different exhibitions on view, right? So the opportunity to walk around and wonder and develop the sense of curiosity and intrigue under one roof is pretty magical. And so here, situated in Colorado Springs, I mean, it's just a really wonderful opportunity.
It's a one-stop shop, kind of like it's like going to Disneyland in Colorado Springs, but for the arts and for so many incredible opportunities.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very thankful for you both and for all you do for the community.
Thank you.
When people come here, just come here.
Yeah, just come
and see what happens.
And celebrate the arts,
Yes.
right? You can stay for 10 minutes, you could stay for 8 hours. Really, we're not short on any particular experiences.
No,
Yeah.
and I always say, and when you come, because we know you will, when you come and if you see us, say hello.
And then spread the word, right?
Yeah,
Share with your friends and family.
That's a great place. Thank you both for all you do. I mean, talk about what is
Thank you.
good in your neighborhood. It's right here. I love it. I love it. And a special thanks to the Purple Mountain Group at Morgan Stanley for sponsoring this podcast. And we will see you on the next one. Thank you both.
Thank you
you
so
very
much.